Good morning, parents and guardians of our new Junior Infants 2020. I just wanted to touch base with you this morning. Firstly, I suppose for those who don't know me, Sinead Flannery, I'm the principal here at the school, and I'm here this morning with Mr. Carney, the deputy principal. Traditionally, we would have had an open day for parents, an open information day for parents in June at this time, just to share information. So this is what we're attempting to do here this morning. I suppose, look, I completely understand that these are very, I suppose, challenging times at the moment, and you're probably anxious about that transition of your child from the preschool to us here in September. And I just want to firstly say that, there's an exciting journey ahead for your child, and we here in the school are busily preparing for that. So, there's no need to have any worries. By the end of August, we'll be again updating on information that we get from the department and ensuring that there will be a seamless transition for your child when we meet them in September, which we are very much looking forward to meeting them in September. So normally, as I say, we would, in this information section, we would just go through a few of the different bits and pieces for the school, which we feel would be important. So I'm just going to go ahead with that there. Firstly, our school here, our aim and what we strive to do is to provide a very safe and caring and positive learning environment for your child. We're very much an inclusive school. We have a special facility in our school for children with autistic spectrum disorder. And all the children down in Cushgame, which we call it, are fully integrated with their mainstream classrooms. We very much aim to develop the holistic development of the child, not just in the academic, but in every way, emotionally and physically. And because of that, there is a lot of in-school extra lessons that we provide here in the school. Mentioning some of them there will be tennis, and we have a tennis teacher coming in. We also have a drama teacher, and we bring the children swimming, and for a bit of fun as well, we do Zumba dancing, and debating is also very much an active part of the school. After school, your child can look forward to lots of extracurricular activities. Some amongst them art and drama, lots of sports, and as they go up along the school, we have chess classes and European languages classes as well after school. Our school motto here is Mokama Sabu, meaning, being all that you can be. And I suppose that's what our expectation of every child is to do the best that they can on a daily basis. Our key to success, we have always said and will continue to say, is the very strong partnership between home and school. And we do have, and we pride ourselves on that partnership, and we encourage that support from home in the education of your children. Fortunately, in the school, we have a very active Parents' Council led by Margaret O'Neill. And again, we are indebted to the support that they give to the school and are always behind the scenes at every event. So just there on the teachers for September will be Miss O'Sullivan and Miss Supple and Miss Looney and Miss Whitson, and they are all, again, they are very experienced junior infant teachers. So again, don't have any worries that they will be ready and waiting for your child and everything prepared. As well, we are fortunate in that we have special intervention support teachers at the junior infant level as well. So if your child needs that extra little bit of support regarding literacy or the area of numeracy, or indeed children who have English as an additional language, again, they're there to maybe work with the class teacher in the class or to give them that little bit of support outside the classroom. In the school, we have a very large multi-purpose room that we have dedicated to the whole area of occupational therapy, and it's kitted out with lots of equipment. So if there are children who would present with any difficulties in mobility difficulties or coordination difficulties, then there again, support teachers would work with their child in that room with different exercises. Communication, I think I said in the previous slide there, is key to the success in everything that we do here. And if you find that your child is experiencing any difficulties, maybe of an academic nature or a social nature, the first port of call is always the class teacher. And sometimes it might be, a written note in your child's journal, or again, maybe if it was an appointment which would be made through the office. They're the best ways really of contacting the teacher. There is one formal parent-teacher meeting in November every year. I would just say, that the class teacher, they're bringing out the children, in the afternoon is not the best place. If you are worried about anything, it is maybe just to make a more formal meeting with the teacher, because it wouldn't be right. There might be 4 or 5 parents lined up at 1:30 there meeting the teacher. If it was an issue of a more serious nature, myself and Mr. Carney, we have an open door policy. There's please, do let us know. Again, if you wanted to make an appointment, or there's absolutely, no problem. Once we, it's much easier for us if we can hear a problem, we can deal with a problem, rather than, out at the gate and talking about something that would, that could be easily fixed. Information, general school information is on our website, which we regularly update, and also through the app, and also in the child's school journal. There's all the information regarding school policies and protocols within school. I know Mr. Carney will be talking later about the app and the website. So the admissions form, which was our enrollment form when you had filled it in for your child, and they're just maybe on that in the admissions form on section 3 there, you would have filled in on your emergency context. So just maybe taking this opportunity just to make sure that those emergency contacts haven't changed, because they are very important in the event that the school would have to call upon you in the case of an emergency. Also in section 4 there of health and readiness for learning, in that section, that I do know that Mr. Carney maybe has sent an email a few weeks prior to us finishing here in March, but if he had any updates regarding any professional reports or any new medical issues relating to your child, that you would let us know, because it's now that we can prepare for that and make sure that we are ready for your child in that regard. So any medical reports or professional reports, let us know if they have been carried out recently. Also in section 5, which is important, the consent questions. You would have ticked there your consent for, do you consent for your child to be photographed, or do you consent for your child to attend on school trips? That consent is a once-off consent, and it covers everything throughout your child's year over the time here with us over the 8 years in primary school. So it is important. There won't be any, it won't be re-asked any of the consent there. Sorry, also, the Parents' Council will compile a contact list. So you can, if you again, you consent to be put on this contact list for occasions like attending birthdays, and just, I suppose, really for new junior infant parents, that you have a way of collectively chatting about different things and supporting each other. So you would have given your consent to that. So if there are any changes regarding that consent, regarding school trips or consent to be photographed or contact list, please let us know. Our school policies are you know, important to us here, and again, in just referring to this, the admissions form that you would have filled in, it would say, you know, that you have read those policies and that you would support the Board of Management and the senior management of the school regarding adhering to those policies. And I would advise that you would take time, because to read them and to be familiar with them, because it is under these policies that your child, I suppose, will be subject to these policies while they are here in our school. And the more important of those policies would be, obviously, our child protection statement. It is, you know, your child's safety is of paramount importance to us. Or the health and safety policy, data protection policy, the school photographs policy, which I've already mentioned there, the acceptable usage policy, our code of behaviour. And again, we operate a playground behaviour system, so where a child will say, might get their name in the book. So, you know, rather than going home and being upset about that, you know, to be able to read the policy and to know about it, if in the event that happened. Also, the attendancy policy. In the event that a student is absent for 15 days, they do get a reminder note sent out. It's a standard TUSLA, a reminder note after 15 days, because, as you're probably aware, any student that misses 20 days of school, it is the school's duty to refer that student to TUSLA. Also, we have a healthy eating policy in the school, and a very much a nut-free zone, because we would have a lot of students here that would have allergies and severe allergies to different foods, but nuts is definitely out in the school. The birthday invitations policy, yeah, we, you know, we don't advise or encourage the invitations as to be given out in the event that it would be upsetting for children who wouldn't get an invitation. So for that reason, that's why we compiled the contact list for parents, and you can, you know, invitations would be organised outside of the school gates. Swimming, yes, we have swimming in the school, and there's a swimming policy, and also of course our homework policy, where the parents would sign the homework daily in the journal. And as your child goes up along the school in senior classes and may require the use of a mobile phone, there's also our mobile phone policy. So again, a little bit of reading there, but very, very important, because these policies, as I say, are important in the for the health, for the safety and the protection of your child whilst they're here with us. So that is it. I'm now going to hand you over to Mr. Carney, but just to finish, just to say that, you know, we are really looking forward to meeting your little ones, and be sure to tell them that, and you know, that we're looking forward to meeting them, and that we will have everything prepared for their arrival on the 26th of August. Thank you very much.
Parents, I'm Alan Carney. I'm the Deputy Principal here in Bunscoil in Cowlig. I'm going to talk to you a little today just about communication and some ways that you can prepare your child for their first day of big school. So just in relation to communication, as we said previously in a couple of emails, our app is how we communicate mainly. So the app has got our calendar, has messages from the school, it has the book list, it has ways to contact us and information about the Parents Council and different things like that. And it's connected to our website as well. So anything that goes up on the website that's relevant comes up in the app as well. So I'd encourage you to check it regularly and just, keep yourself posted about school events. And also, important school changes and updates go out in the app as well. Longer messages we might save for email, but in general, the app is how we communicate things out to parents. And as we said earlier, just in relation to contact details, so important then that we do have updated contact details, especially email addresses and mobile phone numbers in the event of needing to contact you during the school day. So I'm aware that at this time, all parents are asking the format that schools are going to open in September. And it's not something that I can answer at the moment. We will wait for department direction on this, and all schools will have to do the same thing. That said, we are preparing for every eventuality, including the eventuality that, fingers crossed, we open as normal. So should we open as normal, this is the current plan. And if there's any change to this plan, it'll be communicated to you as soon as possible. But as I said, it's not something that direction will come from the Department of Education to all schools. So under normal circumstances, on the 26th of August, Wednesday, the class will be split into two groups. So you'll be notified if your child is in group A or group B. And we usually just do that in relation to their surname. So we'll half the class in typical circumstances. And the first morning, the other children will be arriving for their first morning too. So they'll come in at 10 to 9. They line up and go into their classes. And then when the crowd is kind of dispersed and the parents have gone home, then we welcome the junior infants in. And that just helps keep things a bit calmer the first morning so that your junior infant child isn't as overwhelmed with a big crowd of people coming into school. And, obviously they'll be nervous that morning. And I'm especially mindful that they're out of the habit of getting up and going to preschool as well in most circumstances. So the first morning they line up at 9 o'clock. Our junior infant classes are on the front yard. So, and they have doorways going on and out onto the yard. So the teacher will meet them. They line up with their class at one of the three assembly points at 9 o'clock. And that first group will come in from 9 to 10:15. Be a small break, then and a chance to tidy up in the classrooms again. And the second group will come in at 10:45 to 12. So they do that hour and 15 minutes. They'll do the same on the Thursdays, that they'll alternate. So group B will start in the morning and group A then in the afternoon, or at late morning, apologies. And then on the Friday the 28th of August, that's the first day that the whole class will be in at the same time. And again, this is the current plan. So they let the rest of the school line up at 10 to 9 and they'll go into their classes. The junior infants then will assemble at 9 and the whole class will be there from 9 to 12. In September then, you will have the opportunity to meet with the class teacher, and the class teacher at that meeting will just go through the typical kind of issues that arise during the school year in relation to homework, our approach to reading, our approach to letters and numeracy, and just a couple of standard tips that you could use to support your child. But we'll be able to organise that meeting in September when we know more about the numbers that can gather. So then week 2, that's from the 31st of August, it's a Monday, to the 4th of September. The whole class is in that week, which is what we're planning, and they line up as normal with everyone, so from 10 to 9. And I said they will still finish that a little bit earlier, and we're going with an earlier finish this year because we're conscious that, they have not been in preschool since March. So they'll still finish at 12 for that first week, but they line up as normal with the rest of the school. And from that Monday, or even from the previous Friday, parents won't be permitted onto the yard. It'll be really important just to reassure your child at the gate and then let them go to the gate, the line themselves. The class teacher will be there. There will be plenty of support in the yard. They line up with their class and some of their friends that they'll be making, and they'll go into their class then when the bell rings at 10 to 9. At 12 o'clock then, the class teachers will take them out. They line them up on the yard. When all the classes are ready and they're all lined up and ready for collection, one of the staff members will open the gate and allow parents in. Really important that at collection time then, that, it's just managed well for the safety of your child. And we have a kind of a token system that the child needs to hand to the teacher their name, so that we can just keep track of who's going and that it's not a big dispersal of children. And you'll see how that operates once it gets up and running in late August. If there's any collection over the year, you need to get, you come collect your child for any reason, for a dental appointment, a medical appointment or whatever, you never collect them from the classroom door. There's that temptation is there because there's a door out onto the yard to come and knock on the door and collect your child, but you can imagine how disruptive that could be to everyone's learning. So if there's any reason for you to come to the school and you need to collect your child early, always through the office. That way the office can log it, they'll contact the teacher, and the teacher will get them ready, the child will come to the office to be collected. From the third week then, that's the 7th of September and on, that's the full school day. Okay, so that starts at 10 to 9 and it finishes at 1:30, and that's the way it is then for juniors and senior infants for the next 2 years. So just some safety issues at the school gate. There's a number of set down areas outside the school, and the purpose of that is just to set down. It's not a parking space. If you feel that you want to accompany your child to the gate, from junior infants right up to however long you're driving them to school, really, if you intend on parking, you need to park in a designated parking zone, either down towards the church and convent, or up indeed on the hill up towards in Rushbrook. But the set down area outside is strictly just for setting down, so that there's a good flow of traffic. You notice as well, just on the set down area, that there's a school bus space, and it's marked as school bus. That's a designated area for the bus airing, taxis and buses. Now it says bus, but in fact they are normal cars, and they drop off children who are entitled to school transport. So cars are not allowed parked there. That's just for taxis and bus airing vehicles. But it can be busy, especially on wet mornings. It is Cork County Council and An Garda Síochána that enforce the rules of the road, however. So, while it can be busy and while we ask people to be respectful and mindful in their parking, it very much isn't something that we can control. So if you have an issue with the way someone is parked, or any issue with vehicles on the road, that's an issue for An Garda Síochána. There's a staff car park as well. It's very important that that's just maintained for staff, though, so you can appreciate there's over 70 staff in the school. The car park can get busy, and it's not appropriate for children to be walking around in the car park. So I'd ask you, collection time and drop-off time, please do not use the staff car park. In general, the gates are closed. And you'll also notice that there's double yellow lines around the entrances. Really important that they're just maintained as well for the safety of your child. There have been situations where we've, an ambulance is needed to get to the school or needs to come into the school grounds for different reasons, and that, cars have been blocking the entrance. And obviously, for everyone's safety and protection, just be mindful of the rules, please, at the school gate. Book lists, they were shared out in the app recently, and you'll also see them on the website. The book list just notes the couple of books that you need to buy for your child, and they're books that they write into. Everything else, we provide your child, and that class cost then is €95 for the year, and that covers all the books, folders, the book rental, the readers. You'll notice as they go on through school that they're coming home with a different book every night. As they get older, there'll be novels, classroom resources, digital resources that we use. So the €95 covers all of that, and the extra then that you buy are just the things that your child writes into. Insurance then is optional, but that insurance covers your child while in school, and you can also cover your child for 24 hours depending on what option you pick. But again, it's optional, and you'll receive a link via email or text to pay that, and we ask you then just to pay it online before the deadline in July. So getting ready then for the big day. It would really help if your child is able to button and unbutton his or her coat and hang it up. So there are things that you should practice over the summer. Opening their school bag, using the toilet without help, knowing how to flush the toilet, especially in the current situation, knowing how to wash their hands properly and tighten up after themselves. Schools function very much so on that collaboration and cooperation of students and parents. So the more your child can practice those things over the next few weeks and months, the better start, and the more ready they'll be for school. In relation to hygiene, then every child should have their own either sanitizer and a small bit of and maybe a face cloth to dry their hands after they use the bathroom, and to wash regularly as well during the school day. And those kind of guidelines will be shared with parents as they're developed over the summer for the Department of Education. Now, I'm sure they'll be ultra excited about their big day. And over the next few weeks and months, as you pass the school, talk about it as a happy place, reassure your child, trust the teacher. The teacher knows what they're doing. And it's natural for us as parents to be worried about our child on their first day, and if they're upset, especially as you drop them off. But the teachers know what they're doing. We know what we're doing here in the school. So just have that trust in us that, when your child is in our care, we are of course going to look after them. And you can be able to head off and carry on with your day until collection time. And if there's any issue, of course the teacher will contact you and keep you posted. In our experience, when you reassure your child and you leave them without delaying, it's the best approach. Sometimes if a parent can linger and listen and kind of worry for the child picks up on that anxiety. So best practice is just reassure your child, big smile, talk with the school as a happy place, and once you drop them to school, head away so they can see they don't get into this habit of, if I cry, my parent will stay longer. Most children, even when they're upset, will soon become distracted by all the typical surroundings in the class and all the different fun activities, and within 2 or 3 minutes, 9 times out of 10, more so, they're settled down and ready for learning. In relation to the belongings in their bag, just label everything. Label all your books, any clothes, just put their name on it, because, especially when the weather's warm, the children whip off their jumper, and we don't want to be kind of sending children home with other people's coats or jumpers or anything. So lunch boxes and books as well. So, and label the books on the front cover so that as the teacher is distributing them, it's easily identifiable who owns the books, and not searching through 30 books and just trying to find the name hidden on an inside cover somewhere. So just label everything. School bag. Important that the school bag can just fit in a 4-size folder. If your child can't tie their own shoes, then they should be wearing shoes that have Velcro. As Sinead said earlier, we do have a healthy eating policy, so pack plenty of healthy items, sandwiches, chopped fruit, chopped vegetables. Ensure your child can open and close the lunch boxes, and a healthy treat can be added on a Friday, and that's just maybe a biscuit or a small bar. When you're wondering what to pack into your child's bag, like they're not out in the field hauling things for the day, so no farmers' dinners or anything like that. Just what would they have 10 minutes to eat? What would your child typically eat in 10 minutes at home? A small bit of fruit, a bit of a wrap, or sandwich or whatever. The lunch break, they are playing out in the yard from 12:30 to 12:50 on their typical school day. And then after that, they come in, they eat from 12:50 to 1 o'clock. And then there's another 30 minutes of school time before collection. And that's really important social time and good formation for your child as well. So just whatever they eat for that 10 minutes at home, that's about the same that you should be packing in the lunchbox then as well. The juniors and senior infants play together in the front yard here at the main gate. And again, that's the current situation. If things change over the summer, we'll update you. Home time then, be sure to collect your child on time. They can often become extremely anxious if they feel that they're waiting or they don't see you when they come out. And they can become easily upset if they feel they're forgotten. And if there's any change to the collection routine, if your parent is collecting their child, or a neighbour or an aunt or uncle, or any change like that, just make sure to either write a note in the journal to the teacher or inform the office about it, because obviously it's our obligation that we're not going to hand the child over to someone that we don't know, for your own child's safety. So any change to the normal collection routine, just let us know. And of course, over time, the teachers get familiar with the parents or with the grandparent, or whether it's a creche or whoever's collecting your child, they get to know them and the routine. Then we see the pattern build up. But any change to the typical routine, just important to let us know about that, please. Over the next couple of weeks, you'll receive an information pack, and that's going to have an information booklet in it. It'll have your timetable for weeks 1 and 2, and it'll let you know whether you're in group A or B. It'll have the school calendar for the year. Typically, we host coffee morning for junior infant parents in September. As yet, we just need to hold off on organising that at the moment, and it'll just give some information about safety at the school gate as well. that's all there is to say. We're really looking forward to having, working in partnership with you over the next 8 years. For many of you, some of you, it's your first time, with the child in school. For many of you, it could be your last time with the child starting infants. Some of you have been here so many times that you could possibly be given this conversation, this talk yourselves. But regardless of your situation, we're really looking forward to working in partnership with you. Please, as Ms. Langley said earlier, come let us know if there's any issue, if we can be of any help, regardless of how big or small. It's when we know about a problem, we can address it and we can work together in solving it. And that is very much the policy here in the school. Looking forward to meeting you all over the next few weeks and months. And you have our email addresses. You'll see them on the website. If there's anything at all that we can help with, feel free just to reach out and we'll see what we can do. Take care and thank you.